Okay, welcome back, trading buddies, to the Trading Buddy Futures and Forex Forecast. This is for the week of January 1st, the start of 2024. Hurrah! We made it through another year trading. Trading is a lot of fun, and hopefully you're having fun. If you're not, make sure that you're tightening up your risk and managing those losses and letting your winners run, and trading will be a little bit more fun. But easier said than done, isn't it? Well, hope you all had a great Merry Christmas. We sure did. We'll get back into the trading gear a little bit before the new beginning of the new year. Just going to be looking for some trades to start off on coming in on Tuesday, Monday night-ish, looking for some trades. Still bullish the stock market. Let's go ahead and just jump in here to the all-important stock futures with the ES. Anytime I discuss the S&P 500, the ES, and the stock futures, I'm going to be looking for similar signals in the NASDAQ and the Dow and the Russell. Now, depending on which one's stronger, which one's weaker, if I'm looking to sell, I'll probably be looking to sell the weaker one. If I'm looking to buy, I want to be buying the stronger one. So be sure to be comparing all those charts side by side at times. When it comes to right here, right now, I'm expecting a little bit more of a pullback here, maybe at the first couple of days of the year. And then I do not expect this bullishness to stop until it really shows us. And where does it show us? Well, there's going to be a couple ways. This advanced decline line has to really fall out of bed first. That's one thing I may be looking for. The other thing is we have to see a clear rejection of these highs. We have to see an attempt to go much higher and then an immediate rejection. And so far, we've just gotten these minor pullbacks. This day was almost seemed like that day gave it to us. It was the 20th of December, but the very next day it rebounded and came right back up into the range, and so it wasn't there wasn't any follow through on that. So it looked like it might start making a run. That's why you always have to be careful. This it was just a buying opportunity. So we're going to end the year at 4812.75, and that's where we'll open the new year. Again, I'm expecting a little bit of a pullback, but I'm expecting bullishness to continue maybe into the middle of January, and then we'll see how things play out. But just look for buy signals and look for those potential sells. Those are the signals that we're kind of looking for: advanced decline line and a rejection of a fast rejection of those higher prices. In the precious metals, I was expecting a little bit of back and forth. I haven't been trading all that much the last couple weeks. But it's basically done what I thought, just back and forth a little bit here. Nothing substantial for us to trade, but I am looking for some bullishness at the beginning of the year for the precious metals. So I'm looking for a break of Friday's high to get in long silver. I'd like to see it maybe come down a little bit more and then give us a bullish signal right off the bat there. But silver and gold, I'm going to be looking for buy signals the first week of the year. Speaking of gold, gold is definitely stronger than silver, as you can see. You can see here the price here is much stronger than silver. And so if it does get to Friday's high, obviously I want to be taking buy signals. The break of Thursday's high is a continuation of this bullishness. You can see that there was this big rejection here on this candle over here. It got up to 21.50. So we could easily get up to those prices again. That's a good $80 worth of movement. I think we might be able to see some type of a bullish movement into the end of the week on gold. So that's what I'm going to be looking for, pullbacks and then a break of the previous high to go long. In all my years of trading commodities, this has been a really strong trade. The precious, excuse me, the energies markets use typically the second, week of January, we start to see bullishness in the energies. So I'm going to be looking for buy signals in crude oil and heating oil and potentially even natural gas. It usually lags a little bit on natural gas coming into the spring. But I'm going to be looking for these lows to be held, and obviously breakage of the previous high, but a formation maybe a little bit lower, and then a breakage of a high, and then breaking these highs as well. I think maybe getting into February, March, we'll get into back into the 80s. So I'm going to be looking for buy signals in crude oil probably the end of this coming week and the beginning of next. And so that's what we'll be looking for. And my precious metal trades will kind of take precedent, and then I'll be looking to go long crude oil. I've still got my eye in the grain markets on soybeans, even though we've kind of seen it come down. Soybeans and wheat, to be specific, or I'm looking to get back up into these areas. So if the market comes back up to Friday's high, it's a strong bullish reversal. I don't expect that to happen. I expect it to maybe linger a little bit, try to attempt to break down, and then if we get a 3-bar reversal like that, that'll actually set up a nice buy signal as well. If you want to be a little bit more conservative, we've got trend lines coming down like this. We want to wait for a break of the trend line, maybe a test back down, and then a formation of a higher low like that before we go along. There's really no rush on these markets, on the wheat markets. So keep your eye out for potential buys in the soybean and grains. Here's the wheat market. It's been holding steady a little bit more than soybeans, but again, I am expecting bullishness to jump in here. The commitment of trader report has been showing a lot of buying in the commercials. So that usually means that eventually we're going to see a few months lagging. We're going to see prices start to rise, the demand pushing the prices up. So wheat and corn as well is looking very similar. And so look for buy signals and be patient with these markets. Another trade that I'm kind of kicking myself on, as most of you know, I had a great setup right in here, trend line break. We had ADX stochastic setup, and I held on way too little, and caught right above these levels right in here, but it just kept on going. I expected a little bit more of a pullback to get back in, but I was wrong on that. So sometimes it's just better to hold on for the ride, and that would have been almost double my position that I made. That would have been a nice Christmas present. You can't go back and just play the woulda, coulda, shoulda game. You do want to learn, okay, what can I do better for next time? Take lessons from those type of situations. But right here, right now, with the bond market, I'm going to be a little bit bullish here at the beginning of the month. I'm kind of expecting a little bit of a pullback first, and then have some bullishness. I'm not exactly sure what my play is. I would like to see it come down back down into the 120 area before I go long again. But I'm gonna wait and see what this market's done, what this market does, and stay on the sidelines for now with the bond market. Okay, let's jump over to our Forex markets that we like to look at. The dollar yen is about where we expected it to be by the end of the year. We expected the market to come up and stick with this trend line. It's sticking with the trend line pretty well. And so what we see at the beginning of each month with the dollar is kind of a move up, but with the dollar yen, it's been steadily down. So um, what I'm expecting here is a little bit more movement to the downside, but we may get a pop-up first. I'm expecting precious metals to go up. That would usually push the dollar down. And so I'm expecting more dollar weakness with the Fed saying that they're expecting rate cuts for the 2024 year. And so I expect this to continue downward. If there are any movements to the upside, I want to be looking for, pivot levels and places like these to sell into for the movement back down, and then wait for these 3-bar reversals. But we caught a nice trade right in here on this trend line, and came down. So that's what we're looking for with the dollar yen. I was just sharing with one of my trading buddies the forecasts for the last week of November and the first couple of weeks of December, where I suggested that, hey, we could come down to this 125 level, and then before the end of the year, we're probably just going to get back up to the 127, 128 and chop around here. If you want to go back and review those, exactly what I said would happen with the pound, what I expected did happen. It's fun how that works out. Now, how it plays out in my mind and how I actually perform in my trading are two very separate things. And I know that you experience that as well in your trading, being right, what happens with the markets, but then executing. I haven't been trading that much this week, but the little trading that I did do, just staying in these ranges has been really helpful. So what do we expect here at the beginning of the year? I want to kind of see what happens. Maybe a pull back down to this pivot a little bit, but I expect more bullishness in this market. I expect the dollar to weaken because of the expected rate decreases uh, expected coming forward. So we'll just have to wait for potential buy signals and see what the volatility brings. We want to just be really careful because it could go either way. You know, there's really no indication of what can happen right at the beginning of the year. I mean, we could get some dollar strength in here, pushing these markets way down. So don't get too overcommitted on one side or the other. Just wait and see what it's going to do. Trade small, be willing to cut your losses quick if you're wrong, and then wait for it to tell you what to do. But with the pound and coming up with the euro, I'm expecting more bullishness. And here's the euro. It's the same thing that I expected. I remember the end of November saying, "Hey, we should come back down, possibly back down to the start of 2023 yearly price, which is 107.04, and we could get back down to there and then come right back up by the end of the year." And that's exactly what happened. It's fun. It's fun to see that come to fruition. Well, we're right in this area, right to end the year around the 110 area. I expect it to maybe pull back down a little bit again to start the year, but I expect the bullishness to continue, maybe even come back up into this 112 range in the middle of January. So uh, just like the pound, I expect maybe some selling. Not really sure on the timing of this bullishness to continue. We might get some selling off first, but that's what we're going to be watching and waiting for. So the key is when you're not as certain, you know, you get into a new year, new ledgers, new accounting, new taxes. You know, there's a lot of factors to go into the new year. So be very wary and careful, and the best thing to do is trade small or not at all. So and just watch. Okay, the last pair that I like to look at is the euro yen. We got the choppiness, kind of again what we were expecting around this area. If the yen continues to be strong, we'll see it push this market down. But the euro has been stronger than the dollar, and so I could, yeah, as we see, you know, the dollar yen is down below this previous pivot, whereas the euro yen is still much higher. So the euro has been stronger than the dollar, but the yen has had its way for the last month or so, couple months. So what to expect with this market? We're going to see if it tests back down and then see if it comes back up as well. It stayed in this area, this range where it's at right now for several months. And so it could just be a nice little equilibrium spot for this market and trade a range, a consolidation range. So again, we'll wait and see how these markets play out at the beginning of next week, and we'll have a better idea of what to expect going forward. And maybe not. Maybe there won't be that much volatility at the beginning of the year. Sometimes that happens. Well, thanks so much for joining me again. I hope you had a great Merry Christmas. I hope you have a wonderful Happy New Year. Take some time to review your 2023 if you haven't, and make some goals for 2024. Don't stay stagnant. Stretch yourself. Try to improve your situation and improve your trading and improve your knowledge. So it's going to be a great year. I'm excited to work with you. We've got a few new classes. Please take a look at the website, tradingbuddysystem.com, and look at the classes page. We're going to be doing a trading psychology class, a book club, and I'm also doing a Futures 101 class, a high demand request for that. So thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and take care.